Hey, what's up guys? Today's tutorial is on bottom tabs navigator. In the last video, we went over stack navigation, where we had multiple screens and we would stack another screen on top of another screen, in which we would be able to pop off the screen on top to go back to the screen on bottom. This is in similar fashion where there is a navigation bar and you just click the navigation icons to get to the other screen. So today we'll be coding this. Okay, so first thing we have to do is we have to create a new expo project. So we will do this in the tutorial folder, and we'll create a new expo project, npx create expo app, and we would want to name it my app 3. You guys can name it whatever you want, your choice. And I'll be back when this is done. As you can see, it is done. So we're going to go into the directory my app 3 and we're going to open VS Code in it. Afterwards, we can close this terminal, and VS Code of course went on to my other screen. Let's put VS Code over here, and let's actually close this file explorer. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to install some dependencies. So we would go to our terminal and we would write these commands. I'm using npm, so I'm taking this npm command, but you can use yarn add command. So this is just the same thing as the last video, the navigation dependency, where we're installing React Navigation Native, and then as sub dependencies, we will install these for specifically expo projects. And we'll wait for those to go. Okay, once those are done, we have to do bottom tabs navigator. This is the actual navigator where you get to click the icons and set the icons. So we'll install this. Now that we have all our dependencies set up, we can actually look into our package.json and we can see the dependencies we added. We added the bottom tabs and the native. We added React Native safe area context, React Native screens. These are for expo. Okay, so now we can go to apps.js. In apps.js, we can actually see if we're going to start a server and we're going to see if our server can run without errors. npx expo start. We're going to close these for now because we don't need them. Actually, we will open one website where we go icon names, and it'll tell us the names for the icons. Okay, so our project has loaded. We're going to open it on our Android. I already have a Android emulator up. You can open Android Studio and get that, but I'll open it on my Android now. Close this for now. Okay. Okay, and we'll wait for it to bundle. While we're waiting for it to bundle, we are going to create a folder in my app, and we're going to call it src, standing for source. In this source folder, we're going to create another folder called screens. Okay, in the screens folder, we're going to create two files, one called homescreen.js and another file called profilescreen.js. Alright, our app has loaded. It says, oh, this is our first time apparently. It is not. So if we go to app.js and we change up some of these letters, it should pop up right here. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy these into homescreen.js so we have a default format. Now we're going to edit this. We're going to take out the status bar and this as well. And we're going to replace this text with, this is the home screen. Alright, at this point, oh, and also we have to change this to home screen. And we would save it and no errors are found. Alright, same thing for the profile screen, where instead of home screen, you just write profile screen. And even over here, profile screen. Alright, this is the profile screen. So right now we can't see these screens on our actual app because we haven't actually put them into the renderer. And the renderer is in the app.js, and it's in between this bracket and this back bracket, this return statement. So if we can make a navigation system over here and then navigate through the screens, that would be ideal. So now we would be creating our navigation system. And to do that, we have to import our dependencies that we installed earlier. So we first start off with import navigation container. Using VS Code makes it super easy because it automatically finds the directory at which it's stored. And we can do import create bottom tab navigator, and that is in this directory. So now that we have both of those imported, we can import our screens. So let's import our screens where we have home screen. In fact, let me check something. Home screen, yep, our functions are named. Okay, so let's import home screen, and it tells us exactly where it's from, and we import profile screen, same way. Okay, there is an error, these files do not exist. I'm pretty sure this is an error that comes from running the installer before we add the dependencies. So let me actually restart this and I'll be back. Alright, there appears to be no problems anymore. Just needed a quick restart of the server. I just closed it and ran npx expo start again and opened up my Android again, and everything just automatically fixed. So at this point I do not have any errors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating our navigation system. So we're going to start with a constant. This constant is called tab. What we're going to do with the constant tab is we're going to call this right over here, and we're going to make it a function. This is essentially the bottom part. This is where the navigation system actually goes. So we'll use that later. So in our return statement, we're going to delete everything in view, and we're going to write a navigation container just like our first video. And in our navigation container is where we put in our navigation system. In our case, it is our tab system. So we're going to write tab, this tab, and dot navigator. In our tab dot navigator, we are going to put in our screens. To put in our screens, we do tab dot screen. Perfect. So in tab dot screen, there's some props that we have to add to actually put our screen into this element. So first one is going to be a name. This is essential to recall this screen from another screen. So name, we're going to have a component, which is our home screen, and we're also going to have options. This is not necessary, but I like putting a title called home screen. Alright, so we're going to just put this down one, and we're going to have two of them, but instead for the second one we're going to replace it with profile, because we do have a profile screen. Notice the order, we're putting the home screen first above the profile screen because we want the home screen to be coming up when the app starts initially. So just whatever you want first, just put it on top. Okay, so now we have both of our tab.screens. We can save it and it should pop up. See, perfect, profile screen and home screen. Alright, so now we have our navigation system, but it's looking somewhat ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some icons. So to actually add our icons, we're going to import something from expo, and we're going to go like import ion icons from at expo slash vector dash icons slash ion icons, right? And these are icons. I'm pretty sure it's community made, but what we can do is we can find an icon we like, we can find the name, and we can add it to whatever whatever icon we want to add it to. So home screen, we want like a home icon. Profile screen, we want like a person. So to actually implement this, we are going to write a couple functions. So if we really want to, we can go to tab.screen, and in the options section we can add a icon. But instead of that, we're going to do it all at once, and we're actually going to make it so it highlights whenever you go onto profile screen and whenever you go into home screen, and the other one gets inactive. So to do this, we're going to write some for tab.navigator. So it's going to go screen options is equal to, and we're going to put a curly bracket, a normal bracket, another curly bracket, and we're going to call the prop route. Okay, so what this route property does is it tells us the route and the ID at which the route occurs. So what I mean by this is whenever we go onto the home screen and the profile screen, right, it'll tell us what route we are currently on. Okay, so now we're gonna write tab bar icon, and tab bar, oh, wrote this wrong. Expression. Okay, let's see what happened here. Let's go back. Okay, so I have an arrow function. Now, okay, screen the options. Okay, at this point we should be good. Now we have our brackets, the square brackets. We go down. Tab bar icon, right? And this is going to be focus, color, and size. These are the props of tab bar icon. So from here, we are going to have another line function, and we are going to create a variable named icon. So for this variable, we're going to use it soon enough. This is going to hold the icon name at which we are going to assign home and profile. So we're going to create a function, or we're going to create, this is the function we're creating, and we're going to define some if statements. So if the route.name equals home, so if the current route is home, it's going to check if, so it's going to say that icon name is equal to either two things. So first it's going to check if focus is true or false. If it is true, it is going to set icon name equal to some string. Otherwise, it will set it to another string. So for our home icons, we're going to go look at this ionic.io, and we're going to write home. See if there's any homes. There is a home. So here is one of them, home dash outline. Dash outline represents like an empty home, so it wouldn't be selected, and just normal home would represent like a filled in home. So you're currently selecting. So if our home icon is focused, so this is unfocused home, and this is focused home. If we want home, if we want a home icon, we're just gonna write home, and that's if it is focused. And if it's not focused, like this, we want a home dash outline. Okay, now that we set this icon name, we are going to do it the same thing for, we're going to do the same thing for the profile page. This is these names that I'm writing right here, home and profile. These are the same as these names. That's why I said that these are very much important. Okay, because they'll check what name it is. So whenever you call route, like I said, it's gonna route and it's gonna tell us these name, it's gonna tell us options, it's gonna tell us a component, and it's gonna give us an ID with it. So if we're gonna do this, we're gonna say icon name is equal to, oh, is it focused? If it's not focused on this, then it's gonna, if it is focused, it's gonna display, let's see what kind of thing. So we need a person to indicate, oh, profile, right? That's not, that's like a social kind of thing. This would represent profile. So it's called person, and colon, and then person dash outline, and semicolon. So if we save right now, it will not do anything. It'll in fact take out our icons because we're setting tab bar icon to something, but we don't have a return statement. And since this is a function, we have to have a return statement which takes in whatever value we return and puts it in tab bar icon. So what you have to do is you just have to write a small little return statement right here. Return icons name is equal to icon name. Size is equal to size, because we didn't even change the size. Color is equal to color. We didn't change the color either, and we're just gonna close this. Okay, now if we save, is going to pop up, and now we have proper icons for our navigation bar, and our navigation bar is looking pretty cool. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching and have a perfect day. Bye.